Hi, my name's Pharaoh, and I'm revisiting Expedition 18 Relics, and I want to focus in on the fishing milestone that has been causing a few people problems. They're finding it difficult to catch the requisite bonefish. So, first of all, let's have a quick look at that. It's a phase 3 milestone. Living fossils catch a bonefish. So let's look at that in a little bit more detail by going to the log. And it says, catch a whispering or bleached bonefish. Bleached bonefish can be found in deep water on toxic worlds. Whispering bonefish may be found in any deep water at night. So, in order to catch this particular bonefish, I would recommend going to a particular system. If we go to the teleporter, and we're looking for Rendezvous 3. So let's go there. So this is the system, Lure Bug system. We want to go to a particular planet. In this case, we want to go to Akhamps X, which is an arid planet. Now, an arid planet is a particular type of scorched biome, and you can always tell a scorched biome because it will have selenium in that list of things that are found on the planet. And in theory, any scorched biome or any planet with selenium and also with water would be the ideal place to look for this. But this planet is in the same system where you would trigger this particular milestone. So it's the perfect planet to visit. And if you've already moved on from that milestone and looked elsewhere, it's the perfect place to come back to. Now, I knew roughly where to look, but if you don't, you can use the new system of marking the planet so we can find it quickly. So we're looking for a 50 unit spot. Now, this water on this planet can be quite shallow, but we should have the aquajets at this point. And we can usually tell what the fishing depth is. 31, that's a little bit shallow. Let's use our seafloor measurement. We can usually tell by swimming, and there's a smaller number. It's briefly 40 odd, but we want around about 50 really. As you can see, there's lots of 30 odd depths in this planet, but we really want slightly more than that. It's the ideal biome, but it's not the ideal depth of water. So here we are. We're in a good spot here. Now, ideally, we want the shadow lure, and the shadow lure is going to require some antimatter. So we're going to need a lot of condensed carbon. So let's burn all of my carbon into condensed carbon. And we're going to need cytophosphate, which we can usually get underwater. So we're looking for this on this particular planet for the cytophosphate. It should be on the ocean floor. It can be a little bit difficult to spot. There's not an awful lot of them, but we'll grab these. Let's see if there's any more. Yeah, there's some here. On some planets, these are really common. And on others, they're just sprinkled around. They're obviously sprinkled around here rather than everywhere. I should just double check what we can make. So we've got the cytophosphate. We want some antimatter. So we have the shadow lure. So we now should be catching more nightfish, not totally all nightfish, but more nightfish. Although they don't look large. We're going to catch a small here. I didn't catch it in time. I couldn't quite see the holograms clearly. It's getting a bit clearer. Right, it's going to be further away, obviously, so I'm looking for something that looks large at that distance. No, that's small and medium still. And that could be colossal. Could be large. Let's see. And we can judge from now on. Well, we caught it very, very quickly at this spot, but believe me, that isn't necessarily going to happen. So why this particular planet? Well, first of all, it's in rendezvous-free system, so that's convenient. It's also a scorched planet, and it has water. And the reason that's important is because on scorched planets, there's a good mix of fish. We have a small nightfish, the lamp-tip ray. We have a small nightfish, the oilfin. And the only other nightfish is the jelly of the Veil, which is large but rare because it's a legendary fish. It's an S-class fish, technically, which means it's going to be quite hard to catch. So as long as we're not aiming at small fish, then we're probably going to get one of the more generic fish, the ones that are caught in all biomes, as they say here, found in many different habitats all across the galaxy. And we're looking for the whispering bonefish, which is large, night, and uncommon. And the only other fish that we might catch would be the moon turtle, which is medium but rare. So we're less likely to catch that. We're much more likely to catch that if we catch a non-biome specific fish. And the biome specific fish we can kind of filter out by not fishing in the shallow depths. And we're unlikely to catch the jelly of the Veil anyway. So by choosing the 50, around about 50, 45 to 60 range, we're kind of zeroing in on largish fish, and we're using the shadow lure, which means we're specifically trying to catch nightfish. And so we've put everything in our favor. Any other biome will make it slightly more difficult. Any other bait will make it more difficult, and you can't catch this particular fish in the daytime. Now, there is another fish it advises us that we could possibly catch, and that is the bleached bonefish. There it is, which is a toxic fish. Now, the odds are not quite as in our favour here because, for a start, it's a legendary fish, so it's going to be harder to catch generally. And also, it's a daytime fish, and there's going to be a lot of competition for larger fish. It's less easy to filter for that. Plus, the other fish that are also nighttime fish, if we wanted to do day and night fishing to try and get one or other of them, would be the vampire squid and the toxic jelly, which are both medium-sized